Hello everyone, my name is Gauda Sinha and welcome to Political Science Pro. In the previous video, we learned about the composition of the Constituent Assembly, and in this video, we are going to learn about the working of the Constituent Assembly. Alright, let's begin. The Constituent Assembly held its first meeting on December 9, 1946. Alright, remember the year? The Constituent Assembly held its first meeting on December 9, 1946, but it was boycotted by the Muslim League because they had only 73, 73 seats. Okay, so the Muslim League boycotted this meeting because they have only 73 seats, and they started aggressively demanding for the separate state of Pakistan. Alright. The meeting was attended by only 211 members because Muslim League boycotted it, and Dr. Sachidanand Sinha was elected as the temporary president of the assembly. Remember, Dr. Sachidananda was the first president of the assembly, but yes, he was the temporary president. It was just for few days. Alright, do remember this fact as well. This can be pretty much tricky in your MCQ based questions, right? Okay. Later on December 11, 1946, remember these years very carefully. This can be you may get your question wrong if you forget the exact year. All right, so make sure you memorize. All right, okay. Later on December 11, 1946, Dr. Rajendra Prasad and H.C. Mukherjee were elected as the president and vice president of the assembly respectively. Alright, later on December 11, 1946, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, president, H.C. Mukherjee, vice president, they were elected. Alright, okay. The representatives of the princely states who were first sort of boycotting the Constituent Assembly, they also started taking their seats in the assembly. Alright, they joined the assembly. Okay, and on 29 August 1947, the Constituent Assembly adopted a resolution of setting up a drafting committee to prepare a constitution. Alright. On 29 August 1947, the Constituent Assembly, what did it? They adopted a resolution. Resolution for what? Of setting up a drafting committee. A drafting committee will prepare a constitution. The constitution that we currently possess. Alright? Okay. The drafting committee consisted of 7 members. Remember that the drafting committee that prepared the constitution consisted of 7 members under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Alright, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee who prepared the constitution, who prepared the draft of the constitution. Alright, the final draft of the constitution was introduced in the assembly by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on November 4, 1948. See, years and dates are very much important in this chapter. I think this chapter is not much of understanding, rather it is of memorizing. Okay, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he provided the final draft of the constitution in the assembly in November 4, 1948. Alright, okay. The draft was discussed in the assembly. Of course, discussion always done. The draft was discussed in the assembly, and it underwent 3 stages of reading. Remember, it underwent 3 stages of reading, and finally it was approved on November 26, 1949. Okay, the draft that was provided by the drafting committee was approved on 26 November 1949. All right. Okay. However, it came into force on 26 January 1950 because of its historical importance. We celebrate the Republic Day on 26 January 1950, right? And not only because of that, the Purna Swaraj Day was also celebrated in. It's also celebrated in 26 January 1950. Because of this reason, the then government decided that they would enforce the constitution from 26 January 1950. Remember this date, remember the year. Okay. The constitution, the constitution, it was the constitution was prepared by the Constituent Assembly in 2 years, 11 months, and 18 days. All right. It took the Constituent Assembly 2 years, 11 months, and 18 days to complete the draft of making the new constitution. All right. See, remember, this is the time that the Constituent Assembly took to prepare the draft of making the new constitution. Remember it? 2 years, 11 months, and 18 days. All right. See, this beginning chapters of Indian polity does not require conceptual understanding. Rather, it is more of mugging of facts, mugging of events, mugging of dates, years. All right. Yeah. So, but then the coming chapters in the Indian polity require have something to understand as well. There is conceptual understanding required. So yeah, but these chapters, they're very simple and very easy. Just go through it, memorize it, and it's done. All right. You just remember the dates very carefully, and there is a very high chances, high probability of not making any question wrong from these chapters. At least these chapters have a very good chance of scoring marks. Just what you got to do is memorize the data provided here very properly. All right. Memorize the sequence. All right. Thank you everyone, and see you in the next video.